Over 66 million years ago, a giant ruled the land, towering over most creatures, with teeth the size of bananas and a roar that could shake the earth. The Tyrannosaurus rex was more than a predator, was the king of its world. But what was life like for the T-Rex, really? Today, we explore the story of one of the most famous dinosaurs ever to walk the earth. Hi everyone, welcome to Paleologic. The T-Rex lived during the Late Cretaceous period in what is now North America. Its first appearance in the fossil record dates back around 68 million years ago, and it dominated its ecosystem until its extinction around 66 million years ago. Adult tyrannosaurs could reach lengths of 40 feet, weigh up to 9 tons, and stand over 12 feet tall at the hips. Their massive skulls were balanced by long, heavy tails, and their jaws contained around 60 sharp teeth designed to crush bone. Despite their tiny arms barely 3 feet long, they were perfectly adapted for a life of hunting and scavenging. But how did these giants grow from hatchlings to kings of the Cretaceous? T-Rex babies were born small, roughly the size of a medium dog, and incredibly vulnerable. According to a study published in the journal PNAS, the growth rate of T-Rex was extremely quick, with juveniles adding hundreds of pounds per year during their first few years of life. It seems that baby T-Rex would start their lives under the protection of their parents, learning crucial survival skills while living in a small group. Just imagine a family of T-Rex teaching their young how to hunt, defend themselves, and navigate their environment. This social behavior has been suggested by several studies analyzing T-Rex footprints, which show that multiple individuals of different ages may have gathered in groups. Additionally, chemical analysis of fossilized bones has revealed that some T-Rex skeletons contain multiple growth marks, indicating a phosphate-paced lifestyle during their juvenile years. This pattern of rapid growth is similar to that of modern birds and crocodiles, highlighting the evolutionary link between these species. As juvenile T-Rex grew larger, they would venture further from their family group, establishing their own territories and competing with other young T-Rex for food and resources. At this age, they would face threats from a variety of sources, including other large predators such as the formidable Dasbeltosaurus and Albertosaurus, as well as giant relatives of wolves known as the Lithranax. To survive, they would need to be fast and agile, relying on their speed and maneuverability to evade their pursuers. Despite the dangers, this stage of their life was crucial for the development of the T-Rex, preparing them for the challenges that lay ahead as apex predators. As they continued to grow, their bodies changed dramatically. Legs became longer, muscles stronger, and teeth sharper. These teenage years were critical for survival. They had to learn to hunt, compete, and avoid being eaten themselves. However, not all T-Rex offspring would have been so lucky. In fact, researchers estimate that only about 1 in 1,000 hatchlings would live to adulthood. By the time a T-Rex reached adulthood, it had become a predator unlike any other. Now fully grown, the T-Rex was ready to take its place at the top of the food chain. With its colossal stature and bone-crushing teeth, it was a force to be reckoned with, capable of hunting down and devouring nearly any creature that crossed its path. Herbivores like the mighty Triceratops and Ankylosaurus were no match for the T-Rex's raw power and relentless aggression, and even other predators were wary of challenging the Tyrannosaurus. The T-Rex's formidable presence ensured that it would rule the Cretaceous period with an iron fist, or perhaps more accurately, an iron bite. But the T-Rex wasn't just a mindless killing machine. Despite its terrifying appearance, the T-Rex was actually quite intelligent for a dinosaur. It had a relatively large brain for its size, which would have helped it to plan and execute complex tasks, such as hunting down elusive prey or defending its territory against rivals. Plus, it had excellent eyesight, which would have been useful for spotting potential threats or prey from far away. And while its arms may have been small, don't underestimate their usefulness. Sure, they couldn't lift a Volkswagen Beetle like the T-Rex liked to pretend, but they were perfectly adapted for gripping and tearing flesh. So if you ever find yourself face to face with a T-Rex, remember this. It's not just a big, bad monster. It's a highly intelligent, agile, and surprisingly handy killing machine. So watch your step because this dino doesn't mess around. It wasn't just physical strength that made the T-Rex successful. Its unique physiology also played a key role in its reign of terror. For starters, the T-Rex had a metabolism that was similar to modern warm-blooded animals like birds and mammals. This meant that it could generate a tremendous amount of energy, allowing it to sustain itself on a diet of meat alone. Plus, its respiratory system was highly efficient, enabling it to extract oxygen from the air at a much faster rate than other dinosaurs. This gave it the stamina it needed to chase down and capture prey without tiring out too quickly. Finally, the T-Rex's digestive system was built to break down and absorb nutrients from meat very quickly. This meant that it could quickly refuel after a big meal and get back to hunting or defending its territory. So not only was the T-Rex physically imposing, but its unique biology also gave it the endurance, strength and speed it needed to dominate the Cretaceous period. Now let's talk about the T-Rex's favorite pastime, No, not eating crickets and worms like a cute little dino pet. This guy ate meat, and lots of it. The T-Rex was a true carnivore, and its diet consisted mainly of other dinosaurs, including the likes of Triceratops and Edmont. However, the T-Rex was also a scavenger, meaning that it would also eat dead animals that it didn't kill itself. The T-Rex had a keen sense of smell, which helped it to locate carcasses from miles away. With its massive jaws and sharp teeth, it was able to cut through flesh and bone with ease. But don't think that the T-Rex was always successful in its hunts or its scavenging attempts. There were other predators in its ecosystem, such as the aforementioned Daspeltosaurus and Albertosaurus, which competed with it for food. The T-Rex was a solitary creature, but that doesn't mean it was completely alone. Some researchers believe that T-Rex lived in small groups consisting of a few individuals related to each other, such as a mother, father, and their children. While there's no direct evidence of this behavior, it's possible that these groups would have hunted together, shared food, and protected each other's young. Additionally, there have been instances where multiple T-Rex skeletons have been found in close proximity, suggesting that they may have gathered in certain areas for mating or to scavenge carcasses. Of course, the exact nature of their social interactions remains a mystery. But the idea of T-Rex living in packs or families is a fascinating one that continues to be explored by scientists. But enough about their favorite activities. Let's talk about how the T-Rex found its mate. Like many reptiles today, the T-Rex likely engaged in elaborate courtship rituals to attract a partner. Males may have roared loudly to show off their strength, while females may have displayed their hind ends to expose their brightly colored uropygial feathers, much like modern birds. After mating, females would give birth to live young after a gestation period of around 2 years. But don't expect the T-Rex to stick around for the diaper changing. Like many other reptiles, the male T-Rex likely had no parental responsibilities and would move on to find a new partner once the deed was done. A fully grown T-Rex could live up to 30 years, a long life for a dinosaur, but one filled with challenges. In their natural habitat, growth was rapid. Some juveniles added over 2,000 pounds per year during adolescence. That means that by the time a T-Rex reached adulthood in less than 2 decades, it would have been a full-grown predator ready to take on the world. However, life was not always easy for the T-Rex. It faced competition for food and mates, as well as the constant threat of injury or death from other predators. But despite these challenges, the T-Rex thrived and dominated its ecosystem until the end of the Cretaceous period. The reign of the T-Rex came to an end around 66 million years ago, when a massive asteroid impact caused a mass extinction that wiped out around 75% of all species on Earth, including the dinosaurs. While the asteroid impact is the most widely accepted cause of the extinction, others believe that it only accelerated the demise of the T-Rex, which had already been struggling due to environmental changes. Whatever the cause, the impact of the asteroid led to the disappearance of the T-Rex and all other dinosaurs, except for birds, leaving mammals and other creatures to take over the planet. So there you have it, the incredible life of the T-Rex, from its humble beginnings as a hatchling to its reign as the king of the Cretaceous. We hope you enjoyed learning about this amazing dinosaur, and stay tuned for more prehistoric tales.